She's not deciding if you're attractive. She's deciding how she can treat you. And there's one move most men make every day that silently puts them in the no respect box. Once you see it, you'll realize why some guys never get played and others always do. It's late, probably way too late. Your phone's face down, screen still warm. You told yourself you were done thinking about it, but here you are. That look she gave you, not angry, not impressed, just flat, like she already knew how this story goes. If this is you sitting there replaying conversations you should have handled differently, yeah, I see you. The pause before you replied, the joke you made to soften the moment, the way you felt yourself shrink just a little, then hated yourself for it after. Maybe this hits closer than you expected. Because deep down, you know it wasn't about what you said. It was about what you didn't or stand on. You remember the exact second respect slipped. Not when she raised her voice, but when you backed off, when you over-explained, when you chose peace over truth and called it being chill. You tell yourself, it's fine, I don't care like that, cap. If you didn't care, you wouldn't feel that tight knot in your chest when she takes longer to reply. You wouldn't wonder why she listens more when other men speak less. And the wild part, you're not weak. You're just out of position. You've been taught to be agreeable, to be understanding, to be the good guy. Nobody warned you that respect doesn't come from effort. It comes from as edges, from what you won't tolerate, from what you don't chase, from what you're willing to lose without begging for it back. If this is you, tired of feeling like you're almost enough, tired of watching her energy change while you pretend not to notice, tired of questioning yourself in silence at 3 m, then let me ask you something. What if the version of you she respects is the same version of you you've been scared to become this whole time? I'm gonna say this slow, not to hype you up, not to flex words, just straight. Most men think being high value means doing more effort, more explaining, more patience than they actually have. That's where it goes sideways. You've been there, standing in the kitchen, light buzzing overhead. She's talking, but you can feel it. She's not really listening. You nod, you wait your turn. You choose the safe response because you don't want friction. You don't want smoke. Here's the part nobody tells you. Respect doesn't come from how smooth you are. It comes from what stays solid when things get uncomfortable. Most guys fold right there. They soften their voice. They rush to fix it. They try to be understood instead of being as clear. That's not strength. That's fear wearing a calm face. High value men don't argue much, not because they're passive, but because they already decided who they are before the moment shows up. Here's a principle that messes with people. You don't earn respect by being liked. You earn it by being as consistent even when it costs you. Another one. If you're afraid to lose her, she'll feel it, not in words, in posture, in timing, in the way you hesitate before saying no. I remember a moment like that, sitting in my car, engine off, hands on the wheel longer than needed, knowing I said yes when I meant no. That silence afterward, that's where respect leaks out. High value isn't loud, it's not flashy. It's quiet decisions made early, so you don't have to scramble later. So ask yourself this, no ego, no cap. Where have you been giving ground, hoping it would buy you peace, when all it really did was teach her how far you'd been? The room's quiet, but not really. That low hum from the fridge. The clock clicking like it's got beef with you. Air's cold on your forearms. You didn't notice till now. She's standing there, arms crossed, not mad. That's the worst part, just waiting. You run through options in your head, say it soft, say it funny. Say it in a way that keeps the vibe clean. Don't make it weird, don't lose her. Don't. You pause, too long. She exhales first, small, almost bored, and in that half second something shifts. You feel it, right here. Chest tight, like you missed a step on the stairs. Later, way later, you're alone, phone face, up this time. Screen dark, your thumb scrolls nothing. Just habit, you replay it, over and over. That moment when you knew what you meant to say, and still didn't. You tell yourself it was no big deal, that being chill is better than being right, that you say it next time. Cap, next time keeps moving. There's a memory that hits you out of nowhere. Different girl. Same feeling. Sitting in a car, engine running, hands cold on the wheel, realizing, damn, this keeps happening. Not because you're weak, but because you keep trading pieces of yourself for comfort, for approval, for the hope she'll respect you without you ever drawing a line. High value isn't a look, it's a moment. That pause where you either speak or disappear a little more. And the question that sticks heavy as hell long after the noise fades, what would have happened if you'd said it anyway? A lot of this falls apart because of quiet beliefs, not loud ones, the kind you don't even realize you're carrying. One of them is this idea that if you're patient enough, calm enough, understanding enough, she'll eventually respect you. I used to believe that. I remember sitting there, nodding along, swallowing the thing I wanted to say because I thought being easy made me solid. What it really did was blur me out. Attention is cheap. Respect is priceless. Another belief that standing your ground means creating drama. So you avoid it. You smooth the edges. You tell yourself, I'll let this slide. But every time you do, something in you steps back. Not her. She didn't ghost you. You disappeared from yourself. There's also this one that hurts to admit, that if you say what you really feel, you might lose her. So you hesitate. You delay. You try to say it better next time, and next time keeps moving. I've felt that moment, phone in my hand, message half typed, heart racing over a simple truth. That's not confidence breaking. That's self-trust leaking out. You don't lose her. You lose your own presence. None of this means being cold or loud or trying to act tough. It means realizing respect isn't something you earn later by behaving right. It shows up when you stop bargaining with who you are. Maybe this feels uncomfortable. Good. That's usually how waking up starts. This is what the 1% headman understands. Respect doesn't start with her. It starts with how settled you are inside yourself. Most men move fast when they feel uncertain. They text again. They explain more. They chase clarity like it owes them something. The headman, he slows down, not to play games, but because panic never built respect. That's facts. This is how he leads with presence, not pressure. When something feels off, he doesn't jump to fix the vibe. He notices it, lets the silence breathe, lets her feel the weight of the moment instead of filling it with noise. There's a scene that says it all. Phone buzzes. Late. A message that would have triggered the old version of him. He reads it once, puts the phone down. Not out of ego, but out of self-trust. This is what he understands. Clarity beats charm every time. When he speaks, it's clean, direct, no filler, no rehearsed lines, no trying to land it perfect. He chooses patience over panic, strength over smooth talk, centeredness over chasing. And here's the part most men miss. No cap, he's already at peace with losing what doesn't align. That's why his presence hits different. Because when you're not afraid to walk, people feel it. That's the 1%, not loud, not thirsty, just solid. The room's dim, not dark, just tired, lamp buzzing low. Chair creaks when you shift your weight like it's calling you out. You're staring at nothing, but your head's loud. Flash, hurt tone when she said, it's not that deep. Another flash, you smiling when something in you wanted to push back. Another, that familiar heat in your chest, not anger. Worse, self-betrayal. Your phone's in your hand, again, thumb hovering. You already know what you could send, something smooth, something safe, something that keeps you in the game. And then it hits, not dramatic, not loud, just this quiet realization that lands heavy as hell. So I keep shrinking to stay chosen. You feel it in your shoulders first. How long you've been carrying that tension, trying to be easy, trying to be cool, trying not to lose. Cap. There's a memory that snaps back sharp, different night. Same feeling. You in the mirror afterward, eyes tired, asking yourself why respect always seems to fade right when you start trying harder. Your phone drops onto the couch, not thrown, released, and the thought comes out low, almost whispered. I'm done explaining myself. Then another one, clear. Solid, no fluff. I'd rather stand alone than disappear. The room feels different now. Same walls, same silence, but your chest steadier. That's the turn. Not when she changes. When you Stop breaking to be kept. And once that line's crossed, there's no going back. You've been bending, faking calm, swallowing what you wanted to say, thinking respect would come from effort. It doesn't. It comes from edges, from quiet weight, from showing up steady when the room shakes, the phone buzzes. You don't reach. The message waits. You wait, not out of ego, out of self-trust. Air tastes sharp, chest tight, but it's real. The knot in your stomach loosens a little. And here's the line you carry. And she doesn't decide your value. You do, long before she even notices.